who are leading professionals from St. Kitts and Nevis, as well as the broader Caribbean diaspora and beyond. The students will be mentored by professionals who are blazing trails in their respective fields. This initiative aims to empower young minds and provide them with the guidance and support necessary to achieve their goals. The program is expected to serve as a pathway for focused, brilliant minds to be aligned with developmental opportunities at home and abroad in pursuit of their excellence. Now, the cohort the members of the cohort are Michelle Borin, Elijah Brown, Chevrolet Daniel, Kari Gonzalez, Lachelle Herbert, Trezor Isaac, Tahelia Lewis, Taisha McCoy, Shaniel Nisbet, Nishal Otley, Sharicia Parker, and Zashanique White. These are the inaugural cohort of Blaze SKN. And so congratulations to these young people who have been doing exceptional work in their respective fields. And again, this serves as an opportunity for them to be mentored by professionals who are blazing trails in their respective fields. St. Kitts and Nevis is proud of you and proud of the work that you continue to do. My thing is, take up space, make a contribution, and leave a lasting impact. For those of you who are just tuning in, you're listening to The Edge and ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM. I'd like to have an open open discussion with the audience today. And so the phone lines are open now. You can call us at 465-1977 or 1903 or 662-8674. Call us and lend your voice on any topic of national interest. And I'll seek to have a conversation with you on what's happening here in St. Kitts and Nevis. Again, the phone lines are open. Call us at 465-1977 or 1903 or at 662-8674. If you have no calls, we'll take a break. And when we come back, we'll continue the conversation here on The Edge. Stay tuned.
Church's Texas Chicken is on its way to St. Kitts and Nevis, and we're hiring. You can be part of our growing team as we open our very first store on the island. We're looking for motivated managers, friendly customer service reps, and hard-working kitchen champions. Don't miss out on this opportunity. Send us your resumes today at jobs@pizzaboys.com. Church's Texas Chicken. Flavor you love.
St. Kitts and Nevis, are you ready to take control of your financial future? Join the UTC Global Balanced Fund Limited for a free personal finance and investing seminar on Tuesday, September 23rd from 5:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. at the St. Kitts and Nevis Chamber of Industry and Commerce. Learn from financial experts Omar Birch-Smith and Tricia Ann Henry as they break down the power of investing and introduce the UTC Global Balanced Fund Limited. Seats are limited. Secure your free spot now. Visit www.utcgbfl.com to register today. Don't miss this chance to unlock your financial potential.
The views and opinions expressed by participants and callers during this program are solely their own and do not necessarily reflect the views, opinions, or policies of ZIZ Broadcasting Corporation, its management, or sponsors. The station accepts no responsibility for statements made. Welcome back to The Edge and ZIZ Radio, 96.1 FM. We have a caller? Okay. Welcome back to The Edge, 96.1 FM. The caller is back. Let's take this call. Caller, you're on the air. Good morning.
Good morning. Good program. But looking at this CDU, whatever they're talking about, we ain't gonna control our money. So when we send money and our information overseas, they control, because I having this problem with joining this fund thing, and now he's telling me about till further notice. It's going to 2 years now, and I just called in and asked him about the money. He said they're not adding it yet. So we can put the eggs in a basket and we don't know what's going on. Have a good day and good program.
All right, caller, thank you so much for your contribution to the program. It is 11:21 and you're listening to The Edge here in ZIZ Radio, 96.1 FM. The phone lines remain open at 465-1977 or 1903 or 662-8674. For the callers, you may experience some clarity issues when you call in. We sincerely apologize for that. It is an issue that we are actively working on, but I still encourage you to call, because on the externally you are being heard in terms of persons listening to the program. But if you call in and you realize that you're not hearing me clearly, continue to make your contribution, and I'm encouraging you to continue to call. But we sincerely apologize for the inconvenience caused, and it is something that we're working to address. The phone lines remain open at 465-1977 or 1903 or 662-8674. It's an open discussion today. We're taking your calls and giving you, the listeners and persons viewing via social media, the opportunity to lend your voice to the conversation on what is happening here in St. Kitts and Nevis, or anything regionally, internationally that you believe is of interest to St. Kitts and Nevis. The Prime Minister is currently leading a delegation to the United Nations General Assembly, that is UNGA 80. That's the 80th session of the United Nations General Assembly, which is taking place in New York. He departed the Federation on September 22nd. The Prime Minister is expected to participate in the UNGA High-Level Week, a critical annual gathering of world leaders that addresses pressing global issues and advances multilateral cooperation. And this year's session is expected to focus heavily on climate action, financing for development, global peace and security, and the ongoing work toward achieving the Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, by 2030. Now, joining the Prime Minister as part of the official delegation are the Right Honourable Dr. Denzil Douglas, Minister of Foreign Affairs, and also Minister with responsibility for economic development, international trade and investment, and the Honourable Dr. Joel Clark, who is the Minister of Sustainable Development, the Environment, Climate Action, and Constituency Empowerment, among others. During his time at the United Nations, Dr. Drew is scheduled to attend several high-level dialogues and bilateral meetings with heads of state, development partners, and leaders of multilateral institutions. He is also expected to deliver St. Kitts and Nevis' national address before the General Assembly, in which he is expected to outline the Federation's key positions on global affairs and provide updates on the nation's progress under the current Sustainable Island State Agenda that we have been pursuing here in St. Kitts and Nevis. This year's participation, according to the government, underscores its commitment to multilateralism, sustainable development, climate resilience, and global cooperation. And so the UN General Assembly is an annual meeting of world leaders and senior officials from foreign affairs to address and look at pressing issues that collectively we are facing. And on the top of the agenda, of course, is climate resilience, climate change, and how we are dealing with those changes and what financing mechanisms or financing frameworks are in place to ensure that we are competitive. The phone lines are open, 465-1977. We have a caller. All right, let's take a break, and when we come back, we'll continue the conversation.
In case you don't know us, you're just twisting that dial away and managed to bump into us. This is ZIZ Radio from out of St. Kitts.
For life's finest moments, celebrate them with Skol Premium Lager. Pure malt, pure class, pure perfection. Skol, class and perfection in a bottle.
From the bench to the palm of your hand, Backgate Sports brings to you iGaming, the ultimate dual gaming experience. Sports and iGaming in one powerful platform, live and legal. Tap your screen, place a bet, spin the reels, cash out fast. No delays, pure excitement. BetCageSports.com. Download the app and sign up today. Play responsibly. Must be 21 and over. Proud sponsor of Cricket West Indies, where a percentage of every dollar played with Cage goes to Windies for cricket and cricket development.
The views and opinions expressed by participants and callers during this program are solely their own and do not necessarily reflect the views, opinions, or policies of ZIZ Broadcasting Corporation, its management, or sponsors. The station accepts no responsibility for statements made. Welcome back to The Edge on ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM. I'm Devonne Cornelius, and thank you for joining me on the program for today, Tuesday, September 23rd, 2020. 5. This conversation is also live on ZIZ TV and on social media platforms. Now, during our 42nd Independence celebrations, Prime Minister Drew met with Karen Sullivan, who's the Charge d'Affaires at the U.S. mission to Barbados and the Eastern Caribbean, and expressed the government's appreciation to the United States for its continued partnership in strengthening national security and countering the trafficking of narcotics through the Federation and the neighboring islands of the Eastern Caribbean. Prime Minister Drew highlighted the significance of the collaboration, stating that we are grateful for the immeasurable support to our national security, and through joint operations, intelligence sharing and training, together we have curtailed the trafficking of narcotics that threaten the safety of our citizens and our region. This is a partnership built on mutual respect and a firm recognition of our sovereignty. The U.S. stands beside us, not in place of us, and together we are protecting our borders and securing a safer future for our people. Above all, we are committed to ensuring that the Caribbean remains a zone of peace, stability, and prosperity. The Prime Minister emphasized that the partnership remains progressive, rooted in cooperation with regional neighbors, and dedicated to strengthening national capacity while upholding the rule of law and human rights. And so the U.S. and our government and governments across the region have been working together for quite a number of years to address the issue of drug trafficking, or the trafficking of drugs, trafficking of narcotics in the region, and generally national security. And we're seeing where a number of improvements are being made in terms of the level of investment being put in from countries in the region and the United States. And it means safer waters, safer borders. Of course, there's a lot more that can be done, and there is much work to be done. But I think it's also equally important to highlight the progress that we have made in this area, and it is something worthy of I would say commendation. Now, still on the same of national security or justice, the ministry strengthens, or the Attorney General's office, my apologies, and the Ministry of Justice and Legal Affairs, in collaboration with the Justice Project funded by the European Union, hosted a 2-day case management training from September 2nd to 23rd, and so it wraps up today. The training convenes judges, magistrates, prosecutors, defense counsel, registrars, and clerks of the court to strengthen practical skills in managing cases efficiently. And as I'm reading this, sharing this, I'm reminded of the caller from yesterday who shared his experience with the judicial process or the judicial system, where he stated that he has been to the court, I think he said more than 3 or 4 times, and each time he goes, the case is being put off, and it appears to him that it is not being managed properly. And so this practical skills in managing cases efficiently, reducing delays, and embedding greater accountability across the justice system is taking place. Delivering the opening remarks, the Attorney General emphasized that backlogs and delays threaten efficiency and public confidence in the justice system. And again, going back to the caller, if you have a case in the magistrate court or in the high court or whatever, and these consistent delays, these continual delays every minute, then of course you would lose that trust in the judicial system and you'll feel as the system is not working for you. He said that every adjournment or prolonged trial risk denying victims, witnesses, and defendants timely justice, which I believe is a major issue in the courts, but they are working to address the issue. This training is about adopting practical measures that will help reduce the backlog and ensure greater efficiency in our courts, the AG stated. Now, over these 2 days, September 22nd and 23rd, the participants will examine case management techniques and judicial controls to reduce delays, judicial sanctions and accountability for counsel as tools for changing the courtroom culture, practical scenario-based exercises on narrowing issues, agreeing facts and enforcing preparation, and judicial leadership in moving from reactive to proactive case flow management and time and stress management to enhance professional practice. The facilitators include Justice of Appeal, Mr. Buru Singh, Justice Morley, Justice Thompson, Dr. Afonso, and Garcia Munoz, who are sharing global, regional, and practical insights. The training also advances commitments under the Needham Point Declaration on Criminal Justice Reform, which identifies the case management and plea negotiations as central to modernizing the justice system across the Caribbean region. And this initiative is said to be a part of our plan to reform the justice reform agenda, supported by the United Nations Development Program and the European Union, and also includes the digitization of court processes. And I believe this is one of the reasons why there is a backlog of cases, because of all of this filing and paper and all of that. And so when it can be digitized, it speeds up the process significantly. Then we're talking about diversion and rehabilitation initiatives and generally wider institutional strengthening measures. It's 11:38. Let's take a break, and when we come back, we'll continue the conversation.
Tune into ZIZ, the nation station, keeping your company at home, work, or on the go. We play today's hits and yesterday's favorites, bringing you the latest information and entertainment. Want to advertise with us? We have television and 2 radio stations to help get the word out. Call us now at 465-2621 and let us help you reach your audience. ZIZ, the nation station, your source for music, news, and more.
Church's Texas Chicken is on its way to St. Kitts and Nevis, and we're hiring. You can be part of our growing team as we open our very first store on the island. We're looking for motivated managers, friendly customer service reps, and hard-working kitchen champions. Don't miss out on this opportunity. Send us your resumes today at jobs@pizzaboys.com. Church's Texas Chicken. Flavor you love.
St. Kitts and Nevis, are you ready to take control of your financial future? Join the UTC Global Balanced Fund Limited for a free personal finance and investing seminar on Tuesday, September 23rd from 5:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. at the St. Kitts and Nevis Chamber of Industry and Commerce. Learn from financial experts Omar Birch-Smith and Tricia Ann Henry as they break down the power of investing and introduce the UTC Global Balanced Fund Limited. Seats are limited. Secure your free spot now. Visit www.utcgbfl.com to register today. Don't miss this chance to unlock your financial potential.
In case you don't know us, you're just twisting that dial away and managed to bump into us. This is ZIZ Radio from out of St. Kitts.
The views and opinions expressed by participants and callers during this program are solely their own and do not necessarily reflect the views, opinions, or policies of ZIZ Broadcasting Corporation, its management, or sponsors. The station accepts no responsibility for statements made. Welcome back to The Edge in ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM. I'm your host, Devonne Cornelius, and thank you for joining me in the program for today. It's 11:42. We're winding down, and we are taking your calls here at 465-1977 or 1903 or at 662-8674. That's 465-1977 or 1903 or at 662-8674. Call us in and your voice to the conversation at hand. For those of you who may have just joined the conversation, I shared with you that the Blaze SKN mentorship program has announced its first cohort of young people from across St. Kitts and Nevis, and these are young people who continue to, or have made and continue to make, a significant contribution towards the development of our country. And so they have been selected to be a part of this initiative, a part of this program, so that they may be mentored by trailblazers in their respective fields, professionals in their respective fields. And from my understanding, they'll get local, regional, and even international exposure in various areas. So I absolutely love this initiative where we are investing in our young people and we are giving them an opportunity to make a contribution. That is absolutely amazing. Also, the Prime Minister is in New York for the 80th session of the United Nations General Assembly. Happening there, world leaders are meeting, as per usual, to address global issues. And topping the list, or at the top of the list, is the issue of climate change and climate financing and, of course, national security and other areas. But that is going to be front and center at the United Nations General Assembly, which is currently taking place in New York. Leaders from all across the globe and even here in the Eastern Caribbean are meeting there. And we recently expressed our appreciation for the support that we have been receiving from the United States of America as it relates to national security efforts in the Eastern Caribbean, We know that the U.S. has been working with Caribbean countries, Caribbean governments to address the issue of crime and violence. You have heard me say here in this very program time and time again the issues that we face as it relates to not just drug trafficking, but gun trafficking. And I've said it time and time again that we do not manufacture weapons here in the region, at least that I know of. We don't manufacture weapons here in the region. And so, of course, the natural question will come, where are they coming from? How are they getting on our streets? How do we get them off of our streets? And so these are some of the steps or initiatives like this one must be taken to ensure that we keep our Caribbean safe and keep our Caribbean a zone of peace. And that is why governments are doing what is necessary in terms of providing our forces, our defense force, police force with more resources, training our police officers and defense soldiers in these areas, and digitization, which I believe at times is taken for granted, because you see, with digitization, it keeps a more transparent or clean record of what's happening. It's like a more easier way of archiving and saving information. And so it is easy for you to go back and look for something in the past, versus when you have all of these things in case files and in filing cabinets that can easily be destroyed and all of that. And so while we're investing in national security, we must also invest in information technology, or technology, and the digitalization of national security to ensure that we are up to the times and we are paying attention to what is happening, not just in the region, but also on a global stage. We're soon out of time, but it was a pleasure sharing these updates with you, listeners of this program. We will be having some guests in studio the remainder of the week to speak on a few things happening here in St. Kitts and Nevis. We're expecting Lake Health and Wellbeing from next week to speak about an initiative that they have recently launched. And so encouraging you to tune in and join the conversation. But if you're listening and there's anything that you'd like to share with the listening audience or add to the discussion, I encourage you to do so. Just a few minutes left, so you can call us at 1977 or 1903, that's 465, or 662-8674. I want to say also, for those of you who may have been experiencing any technical difficulties at the phone lines, we sincerely apologize. It's an issue that we are working tirelessly to fix and to identify. And again, we sincerely apologize, but I encourage you to continue to call. You call and you make your contribution to the program. Yes, we are embracing technology, but we also understand that technology would have its technical difficulties from time to time. Nevertheless, it does not translate into not embracing technology and not using technology at all. It is 11:49. We'll take a commercial break and we come back. We'll wrap up the conversation.
St. Kitts and Nevis, are you ready to take control of your financial future? Join the UTC Global Balanced Fund Limited for a free personal finance and investing seminar on Tuesday, September 23rd from 5:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. at the St. Kitts and Nevis Chamber of Industry and Commerce. Learn from financial experts Omar Birch-Smith and Tricia Ann Henry as they break down the power of investing and introduce the UTC Global Balanced Fund Limited. Seats are limited. Secure your free spot now. Visit www.utcgbfl.com to register today. Don't miss this chance to unlock your financial potential.
This hurricane season, be outright prepared with BOP and win one of 3 $1,000 grocery vouchers when you purchase any 2 BOP 400ml products. To enter, write your name and contact details on the back of your receipt and drop them in entry boxes provided. Entries close September 30th, 2025. Be outright prepared this hurricane season and win one of 3 $1,000 grocery vouchers with BOP. Distributed by Rams Trading.
The views and opinions expressed by participants and callers during this program are solely their own and do not necessarily reflect the views, opinions, or policies of ZIZ Broadcasting Corporation, its management, or sponsors. The station accepts no responsibility for statements made. Welcome back to The Edge in ZIZ Radio, 96.1 FM. I'm Devonne Cornelius, your host, and thank you for joining me on the program for today. Just a recap of what we looked at for today. Again, the Blaze SKN mentorship program announced its first cohort. Prime Minister Drew, Foreign Affairs Minister Dr. Douglas, and the Sustainable Development Minister Dr. Clark are currently attending the United Nations General Assembly there in New York. The National Assembly of St. Kitts and Nevis meets on Monday, October 6th, 2025. Later, of course, we'll get the order paper in terms of what will be debated in Parliament. The Attorney General's Chambers hosts training to strengthen efficiency through case management training. And St. Kitts and Nevis recently expressed appreciation to the U.S. for its support in national security efforts in the Eastern Caribbean. You have been listening to The Edge here on ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM. I've been your host, Devonne Cornelius. Thank you so much for joining me in the program for today. Until next time, you guys, stay safe. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. Don't drink and drive. Don't text and drive. And please take it easy on the road. See you tomorrow, same time, same station. Coming up now is our midday newscast. Stay tuned.